Imagine a world not just blacked out by a power failure, but utterly shattered, a pre-apocalyptic landscape where the very lifeblood of civilization, clean water, had become a ghost. This is not a dystopian movie trailer. It is the gritty, terrifying reality of World War II's bombed-out cities, where survival was not about who had the biggest gun, but who held the deepest, most arcane knowledge. We are peeling back the rubble to reveal one of the most brilliant, yet completely forgotten, pieces of wartime ingenuity, the ash mix. It sounds absurd, right? The same fireplace residue we shovel into the bin, the gray dust left after a night's blaze. This was, for countless civilians, soldiers, and underground resistance fighters, the difference between a crippling infection and living to see another dawn. When entire urban infrastructures were reduced to twisted metal and pulverized concrete, the main water lines failed, spewing sewage, industrial toxins, and debris into rivers and abandoned wells. The water was poison, but the thirst was a commander. This is where the wisdom of the ages, a trick older than modern plumbing, surged back into relevance. The World War II ash mix was a low-tech, natural purifier, a resourceful hack that turned visibly filthy, disease-laden water into a drinkable substance long before the mass production of iodine tablets or carbon filters. To truly grasp the brilliance, we have to time travel back to the chaotic, smoky air of a 1940s metropolis. Think London's East End during the Blitz, or the shattered streets of Warsaw. When the industrial marvels failed, when the electricity grid died, the massive filtration plants vanished in a puff of smoke. People, driven by the primal need to survive, reached back. They did not invent a new technology. They resurrected a centuries-old, rural alchemical secret, wood ash, water purification. It was slow. It was rudimentary. But when literally every single drop counted, this humble process was a lifeline. It is crucial to understand that this was not a wartime innovation, but a desperate rediscovery. For millennia, the alkaline byproduct of clean wood combustion, what we call lye or potash, had been used for soap-making, disinfecting tools, and even preserving meat. The survivors of the Second World War simply applied this existing chemical principle to their gravest problem. At the heart of the miracle ash are two simple compounds, potassium carbonate and calcium carbonate. These are potent alkaline minerals locked within the wood structure. When released by fire and then mixed with contaminated water, they perform a two-pronged attack on impurities. First, they dramatically neutralize the water's acidity, creating an environment far too alkaline for many harmful pathogens and microbes to thrive. Second, and this is the true magic trick, these compounds act as a natural flocculant. Think of it like a magnet for dirt. The ash minerals bind themselves tightly to fine particles of mud, silt, heavy metals, and even some types of bacteria, effectively wrapping them up into heavier clumps. Once clumped, gravity takes over, and these contaminated masses flocculate and plummet to the bottom of the container. What remains floating on top is, visually and chemically, a dramatically clearer, safer liquid, ready for the final, non-negotiable step, boiling. In cities where a massive, centralized filtration plant was just a memory, this whispered knowledge spread like a critical password. It was a secret passed from veteran to rookie medic, from neighbor to neighbor in the cold, damp shadows of a basement shelter. While it was not a perfect science, could not remove all chemical warfare agents, for instance, it was infinitely better than the alternative of drinking from a flooded, sewage-laced bomb crater. The savvy survivors knew that source matters. Not all ash is created equal. In fact, some ash is toxic. The deadly residue from coal fires, or wood that had been painted, treated, or stained, was strictly off-limits. The goal was always clean, fine-grained ash from hardwoods, like oak, maple, birch, or fruit woods, because they burn cleanly and leave behind the highest concentration of beneficial alkaline minerals. This specific knowledge kept the process safe and effective. Imagine a scene, a small campfire in a forest clearing, lit by partisans, or a tiny, sputtering stove in a London bomb shelter. The fire is for warmth, but the leftover ash is the medicine. The process was simple. yet meticulous. First, the ash must be completely cool. Then it must be sifted through a cloth or fine mesh to remove any larger, unburnt charcoal pieces. Next, the dosage was critical, roughly 1 tablespoon of clean, sifted ash for every liter of cloudy water. You stir it vigorously. Then the hardest part, waiting. For about 30 minutes, you watch the chemistry show as the gray clouds descend and a layer of surprisingly clear water emerges on top. Finally, you must decant the clear water, carefully pouring it through another clean cloth or fine filter. Even a tightly woven shirt could work, into a new container, leaving the heavy sludge behind. The absolute, unskippable closing step, boiling for a full 10 minutes. The ash handles the turbidity, the dirt and cloudiness, and the chemistry, the pH balance and flocculation. The boiling handles the remaining biology, the harmful bacteria and viruses. Together, they form a powerful, wartime water treatment system. The power of this story lies far beyond the alkaline chemistry. It is a profound testament to the resilience and ingenuity of the human spirit. In an age defined by the devastating power of technology, the ultimate survival hack came from a deep understanding of natural, pre-industrial materials. The ash mix is not just a historical footnote. It is a living, breathing principle that modern water treatment systems, which use chemicals like alum and lime to clump and settle impurities, still rely on today. For the contemporary audience, this translates directly into a crucial modern-day survival skill. For off-grid enthusiasts, preppers, or anyone living in an area prone to natural disasters, be it wildfires, floods, or urban blackouts, this lost wartime technique is a critical, last resort backup. When commercial water filters clog, batteries die, or tablets run out, knowing that the residue of a simple hardwood fire can be your lifesaver is empowering. Even something as simple as collecting rainwater in a barrel can be improved. A small amount of clean, natural ash can instantly improve the clarity and neutralize the mild acidity of the water before final boiling. We are not just learning a recipe for cleaner water. We are preserving the mindset of adaptability and resourcefulness that defined an entire generation. This knowledge was not in the official textbooks. It was shared in whispers, practiced in secret, and held as a precious commodity in the deepest shadows of war. By mastering the principles of the ash mix, we are keeping a vital fragment of history useful, ensuring that the ingenuity that saved lives in the chaos of the 1940s remains a powerful tool in our own personal survival toolkit. It's a sobering reminder that technology can and will fail, but the foundational principles of survival, the enduring wisdom of the pre-industrial world, will always remain. Do not let this knowledge become ash itself. Learn it, practice it safely, and integrate this forgotten piece of World War II brilliance into your own modern resilience plan.